So what's going on, guys? My name's MrDalekJD and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video, and in this one we're going to be taking a look deep into zombies, looking at characters we've had previously in Call of Duty Zombies and which sort of characters we could see returning for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies. We haven't had a lot of new information from Black Ops 3 so far, but you guys have been requesting videos on Black Ops 3 in your dozens. You guys absolutely love these videos, so we're going to be doing a few little theory videos looking back at the storyline from Zombies, looking at stuff that we can expect to see in Black Ops 3 Zombies in terms of the storyline, characters, what's going on, stuff like that. So if you guys enjoy this, smash that like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and let's get straight into this. Now, our story doesn't begin in Black Ops 2 Zombies, it actually starts back in Black Ops 1 Zombies on the moon. Our group have got two items which Richtofen needs in order to take control of the ether and the zombies, which is the golden rod and the focusing stone. Now what happens here, it turns out that these fuse together and that will give Richtofen power, where he switches souls with Samantha Maxis to gain control of the zombies. Richtofen thinks everything's gone his way until Takeo, Dempsey and Nikolai decide to stop him, and this is where Dr. Maxis comes in, where he's prepared a backup plan in case Richtofen got this far. The group launched 3 missiles located on the moon, one of which impacts the nuclear testing site, destroying the Earth's ozone layer, in the hopes that it will sever the link between the ether, greatly lessening the damage Richtofen could cause. Unfortunately, as we know from transit, this resulted in catastrophic destruction. The missile launch left the Earth in a post-apocalyptic crumbling wasteland, littered with undead hordes as civilization begins to cope. As survivors begin to band together to form small human communities, there is now a bigger global threat. Maxis realizes the failure of his original plans due to hasty calculations and begins contacting survivors to help with his plan B, which is to activate global polarization devices and open a gateway to the ether where we'd overpower Richtofen and his energy, which he could then use to heal the Earth. But whilst Maxis had that idea, Richtofen would also have an idea which would grant him further manipulation of the zombies and humans and mend the rift, which is a direct gateway to Argatha that would eternally damn the soul of Samantha Maxis. Limited to communicate with only those capable of hearing the voices of the ether, Richtofen began his own plight and quest for unlimited power, and that was through Samuel Stuhlinger, one of the 4 characters in Black Ops 2 Zombies. Now in Transit, Die Rise and Buried, they all had their own polarization device, and if you followed Maxis throughout all those and polarized the towers in his favor, a portal to the ether will open and allow Maxis to become the controller of the zombies and the dimension's energies. He then proceeds with his plans to open Argatha, which actually reveals himself to be just as evil as Richtofen, and announcing in the process he will destroy the Earth and its surviving inhabitants and reunite himself with his daughter Samantha after returning Richtofen to the physical world spawned as a blue-eyed zombie. But the other outcome is if you follow Richtofen in all 3 maps, the rift will be mended, eternally damning Samantha to Argatha and allowing Richtofen to retrieve full manipulation of the energies from the ether. With the Earth as his playground and Maxis to seize his very existence, Richtofen is now able to leave the ether at will and use the body of Samuel Stuhlinger as his physical host. So that's where we're up to in Black Ops 2 Zombies from the Buried storyline onwards. We know that Stuhlinger can potentially not exist anymore, as Richtofen will exist physically in a body, but we know that at some point in time all the characters from Black Ops 2 Zombies will be dead, because at Round Infinity and Buried, the crew simply don't exist. They are all dead. So we can presume that those crew are destined to die in Buried, so they have no further purpose in the storyline and can't progress any further. Dempsey, Takeo and Nikolai, however, are still on the moon as we know it, but with zombies, of course, they could have easily teleported away from there and be somewhere else. But judging from the Black Ops 3 zombie teaser we got, it seems like we're going back in time now, just after Origins by the looks of things. Definitely not in the Black Ops 2 era, perhaps in the Black Ops 1 Zombies era, as the zombie does look like it's wearing some sort of Nazi helmet, and the eyes are yellow, meaning that Samantha Maxis is still in control. Now, our last Black Ops 2 Zombies map, Origins, was set way before any other Zombies map has ever been before. This was set in 1918, where we had a younger version of our favourite characters. We are thrown into the trenches of northern France, and what happens here is that Maxis begins to hear a little girl's voice talking to him, saying that she's trapped in Olgartha and that she needs help, and also that she is his daughter, even though at the time Maxis didn't have a daughter, and he started to think that he was going absolutely crazy. People working at the site started to notice a weird change in Maxis and the other members, where they started to get sick and died when exposed to this element that they were mining without having a mask. Richtofen was starting to get a little wary and a little bit suspicious of all this activity. So what happens then is Dempsey, Nikolai and Takio are sent over from their countries to this site to try and figure out what's going on, and the four of them come together, and what we see at the end of the cutscene for the intro of this map is Richtofen cutting open the brain of Maxis and implanting it into a device, so Maxis has no choice but to do what Richtofen says. And that means Maxis has a new body, so he's not a human anymore. So this makes the whole origin storyline really confusing, especially that end cutscene where we have the children being sent down to the basement and the fact that zombies was all a game. I have a weird feeling that we're going to have a lot more than that thrown into Black Ops 3 Zombies. There's got to be some sort of explanation for that. That cutscene has literally had us hanging on the edge of our seats for a good 2 years now, and I don't feel like the story is going to just end there. Some people feel like that's just the beginning. I feel like this is just the beginning as well, and there's a lot that needs to be told. We still don't know how our original crew managed to get off the moon and what happened after that, and I hope that's what is going to be explored in Black Ops 3 Zombies. We find out what happened in between the time of Black Ops 2 Zombies with the new crew, and perhaps we might even get another new crew thrown into the mix. As long as it doesn't take too far away from our original crew story, I think it would be cool to add a new crew in. Obviously not have it focused on them for the entire lifespan of Black Ops 3 Zombies like Black Ops 2 Zombies was, but it was a nice addition, and it did add a few little different plots, twists into the mix, with Maxis and Richtofen fighting for control. And who knows, perhaps even Maxis might eventually end up being in control of the zombies in Black Ops 3. But as it stands, it looks like we're going back in time because the eyes are orange, which means that Samantha is in control of the zombies. Now, I've said that we want our old crew to return, and I really hope that we do manage that, but in the DICE Summit presentation, we see a picture of our 4 members of the old crew, but Richtofen has been crossed out. He's just simply not there, and it's so weird to see that. Now, obviously, this has to relate to Black Ops 3 Zombies in some way. They wouldn't have it there without it meaning something, of course, and it just begs the question, why is Richtofen crossed out? We know after Moon he suddenly takes control of the zombies around the Origins time zone. He's just normal Richtofen at this point. He is a little bit crazy, but he's definitely a lot calmer and definitely not in control. We seem to have Samantha in control of the zombies, judging from the teaser, so Richtofen would seem to be normal, but for some reason he's just not there. So what on earth has happened to Richtofen, or is going to happen to Richtofen in Black Ops 3 Zombies? That's the thing that we don't know. Is he going to suddenly just not appear anymore? Because if we look at Black Ops 1 Zombies, he's actually Samantha in Richtofen's body, so he's actually not Richtofen. But in this, it just seems like Richtofen is being cut out from the whole equation entirely, which is just not zombies. You can't have zombies without Richtofen. There's got to be something very, very wrong, and I'm sure that this will be explained pretty in depth when we actually get Black Ops 3, or near the time when we start seeing some more zombie reveal stuff, because I'm puzzled as to why Richtofen's cut out, and that's why I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section what you think has happened to Richtofen and why is he cut out. What could have possibly happened in the story for this to happen? Let me know what you think, guys. If you enjoyed this little recap video, smash that like button. I'll be coming out with a few more of these in the near future, so if you enjoy these, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys for another one soon.